ranking of the league's best offenses. Remember, Dallas lost receivers Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson, as well as O-linemen La'el Collins and Connor Williams. That led Bleacher Report to warn, quote, fans should expect some decline. Meanwhile, there are the Eagles, one spot behind the Cowboys at 11, with the addition of A.J. Brown being cited as a reason why. Philadelphia could still challenge the Dallas Cowboys for the top offense in the division. That's according to Bleacher Report. Shannon, what's your reaction?
I think us discussing this right now is dumb, but I'll play along, considering we don't play football for another 4 months, Skip, and this is on paper, and we don't really play football on paper. But just for you, I'm going to make your day. The Cowboys are still better because the Cowboys have the better of the two quarterbacks. And at the end of the day, Skip Bayless has told me repeatedly, the quarterback position is the most important position in pro sports. And whomever has the best quarterback, normally, generally, 8.5, 9 times out of 10 will win the game. Dak Prescott is better than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts lost his job at Alabama with arguably the greatest talent in college history. He had 5 guys that went in the first round. He had Jerry Jeudy. He had Jalen Waddle. He had Ruggs. He had Devontae Smith. He also had Irv Smith, and he also had O.J. Howard as his receiver and tight ends, along with a plethora of running backs. And damn near all 5 of his offensive linemen went in the first round or the second round. Landon Dickinson is an all-pro center. He went in the second round. But Jared Wills and all these other guys, Evan Neal and Leatherwood and all these other guys were first-rounder. He lost his job. Why? Because he could not throw the football consistently and accurately. Look at their numbers. With Jalen Hurts, look at the numbers with Tua. Look at the numbers with Mac Jones. That's what it comes down to. Can you throw the ball consistently? Can you throw the ball accurately? Yes, the guys wide open in the Big 12, they don't play defense. That's why every single year the SEC has the most players drafted, offensively and defensively. There's a reason why. Jalen Hurts had great success. Oklahoma ain't had near the offensive talent that they had at Alabama. And Jalen Hurts went out there and he threw for 4,000 yards and could barely get 150 yards, 200 yards passing when he was in Alabama. So for me, it comes down to—
What does that tell you?
It tells me that Coach Saban would be minus 2 championships had Jalen Hurts remained the starter. That's what it tells me.
Really?
That's what it tells me. The man got benched at the halftime of the national championship game.
In favor of Tua.
Yes.
So, question to you, Mr. Hall of Famer, right here, right now. Would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Tua as
Mac
your quarterback?
Jones.
Which one, Jalen Hurts or Tua?
Mac Jones.
Tua replaced Jalen Hurts. Mac Jones did not replace Jalen Hurts.
Mac Jones, Tua did what? Replaced who?
I think I got you.
Hold on, time out. You mean to tell me a Jalen Hurts, he was throwing to Devontae Smith, he was throwing to Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs, what's the other receiver name? He had another first-round receiver. And you mean to tell me he got replaced? Why? Just tell me why. The guy led you to as a true freshman, led you to the national title, took you back to the title your second year, and you benched him at the half. And he didn't play again, and he didn't start again. He came in and mopped up and won the SEC title when Tua got hurt, and then he transferred up out of there because he wasn't going to be able to beat Tua out. So stop playing, Skip. Cowboys.
I think you need to start playing because you know and I know Jalen Hurts has proven far more on the pro level than Tua has. Tua is on his way out. Jalen is on his way up in Philadelphia, and that's the point of this ranking. I know it's the offseason, but this is the most fascinating development to me in pro football within a division right now is Philly is rising and Dallas is falling.
How you figure?
Well, how I figure is I agree with these breakdowns because Dallas has lost. You don't think Dallas is as good as last year?
No. I don't think they've added. I don't think they did enough in free agency, and I didn't like their draft. But at the end of the day, Dak Prescott's still there. He's still better than Jalen Hurts. He's the best quarterback in that division. That's not saying much because that's a crappy division.
Okay, I will give you this. I will slightly favor Dak over Jalen, but Jalen is on the rise, and I think he'll have a much better year this year than he had last year because he has more weapons, and now he has the weapon in his best friend has now joined him, obviously, in A.J. Brown. So, but before I get to them, here's the head scratcher to the point of head wrecker that was my Cowboy season last year. Just to remind everybody, they finished on offense first in yards, first in points. They were tied for the NFL lead in turnover ratio.
Yeah.
They were first on defense in takeaways. If I just gave you those 4 statistics going into a season, how would you project that team? If I said this is the end of the season, they're going to finish first in yards, first in points, first in turnover ratio, and first in takeaways on defense, what would you say that team would achieve?
I would say they would be pretty good, but I'm going to ask you one more thing. How are they on penalties?
Well, that's the difference maker, and that's the field leveler because
you know dumb teams get beat, right? They do dumb things.
First in penalties.
Okay.
So it's a lot of firsts. It's hard to be first in this many categories, but unfortunately, there's a 5th category, and it's penalties, and they were first. And by the way, they just drafted the kid out of Tulsa who led all of college football in penalties.
Right.
16 total, 12 holding.
Right. You had 14 in your playoff game.
So you, quote unquote, strengthened your strength.
Yeah.
Or maybe you strengthened your weakness, right?
Yes.
Or you weakened your
Yes.
weakness. That's how it would be.
So you say Jalen Hurts is close to Dak.
Okay, he's getting closer in effectiveness. He plays a different brand of football, but the point is, again, they have dropped the Cowboys from 1st overall to 10th overall. And I'd say that's probably a pretty objective viewpoint of how it's going to settle this year because I don't trust the Cowboy offensive line unless you tell me Tyler Smith's going to make the Pro Bowl this year at left guard, and he's never played left guard to my knowledge, so they're going to try him at left guard. Is he a brawler and a mauler? I get that. Is he wildly athletic? I get that. Is he disciplined enough? Can they teach him on the fly how to play professional football at a high level?
Probably not.
And then the other Ty Smith is going to be next to him, as in Tyron Smith. And what's he got left? I don't know, because he seems to be an old, what is he, 32? But he seems to be dog years old, right?
He's been in a lot of battles.
A lot of battles and a lot of injuries. And Zach Martin seems a little bit fresher, but now you go out to right tackle, and you know the rest of the story. You're starting to bailing wire the offensive line.
Well, I think the thing is that the reason why they felt comfortable getting rid of Lyle Collins is because Terrence Steele played so well in his absence, and then when Tyron Smith went out, he played really well at left tackle. So they say, you know what, we got a swing tackle. Doesn't cost us nearly as much as Collins.
Okay, but the point is, Terrence Steele will never be as good as Lyle Collins was at his best.
Oh, no. Hell no.
He was
a Pro Bowler.
He was a Pro Bowler at his best. And remember, they stole him because of the issue that he was having in college. But they just flat out stole him.
They did.
He was like an undrafted free agent signee.
And I think the thing is, Skip, he's coming back after that torn. He had a torn labrum in his hip.
He did.
Now, we don't know if he'll ever, but if he's going to be close to what he was, it will be this year because he's another year further removed from that surgery. And we see guys, the further they get away from the surgeries, the better they are if they're going to recoup what they once were. Okay. So we'll have a good indication this year of Lyle Collins. Now, we might look back and say, Jerry, I don't know what the hell you thinking giving it. I mean, you just you cut him. So basically, you gave him away.
You did. Well, they got him for nothing, and they gave him away for nothing.
They did.
Okay, now on to the Eagles. And obviously, I despise the Eagles, but I've always liked Jalen, in part because he did play at Oklahoma. But I just think he's made of all the right stuff.
Right.
He's more intangible than tangible. Not a great thrower of the football, an adequate thrower of the football, Tebow-esque, a better thrower than Tebow ever was. But he's gamer, baller, playmaker, leader.
Okay.
And yet, now let's look at numbers from last year's Eagles. They did make the playoffs.
They did.
You can't take that away from them. And they led the league in rushing.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty good. They also were at the very bottom of the league in pass attempts because they just said, well, we can run it down your throat, so we'll just keep on keeping on. And we're going to run it down your throat. We won't even have him throw because that's not what he does best.
Right.
He's best running the ball and running the option, reading it, ball handling.
Right.
He's high level at all of the above. So all of a sudden, I look at their running attack. Miles Sanders, that Gainwell, Boston Scott re-signed. Okay, they're pretty loaded. They can come at you sort of 49er-esque.
Yeah, can Miles Sanders stay healthy? That's been his problem, Skip. Okay. Boston Scott's a nice little scat back, little change of pace. Gainwell played well for him last year.
No, he played well.
But the offensive line is getting a little older. I mean, let's see if they can stay healthy because this is the first time.
They have offensive line issues also.
Yes.
Okay, but they added somebody. We added nobody. We only lost Amari Cooper.
Right.
And I'm not
and
losing
Cedric Wilson.
And Cedric Wilson, who was a playmaker for them out of the slot. A.J. Brown is a playmaker after catch,
Yes.
run after catch.
Yes.
He goes 6'1", 225, and he is all of that.
Yep.
He is man body, 225
Yes.
pounds
Yes.
of NFL receiver.
Right.
And I think he will become extension of run game because you can just flip it to him and get him in some space and let him run and run over.
Well, I'm
people.
sure he's happy with this offense because it's not going to be nearly as predicated on the run as the one he left. Tennessee, Skip.
Well, that's true.
But
that was a one-man show.
Right. Derrick Henry's going to get it, and then, okay, we'll throw you a few here and there. But A.J. put up, he was nicked last year. The thing is, if he's healthy, he should put up decent numbers. But I just don't know if Jalen Hurts can consistently and accurately push the football down the field in order to make them a true contending team.
Okay. Obviously, they will balance up more. I promise you they won't be at the bottom of the barrel in passing attempts this next season. And the Bleacher Report capsule on them concludes if their pass protection can improve, and that's a big if, the Eagles have the potential to be a top 10 offense. Well, that's a mouthful right there.
I mean, they got nice weapons.
Okay,
I mean, you got Devontae, you got AJ now, you got Goddard. I mean, you got some nice pieces there.
And I told you that kid Calcavecchia from OU, he's going to be diamond in the rough. He is a stud red zone target at about 6'5".
Right.
Okay. So this concludes Philadelphia could still challenge the Dallas Cowboys for the top